All right, quick video. I just want to address something. This is an Attack on Titan fan. I'm not an Attack on Titan fan. This is an Attack on Titan fan. Cause cause I pirate them. Trust me, if I don't like a manga, I'm gonna pirate it. But this is an Attack on Titan fan. Being unbiased. Just watch the video. Just watch the part I'm gonna show you.
Solid baseball, and that's his.
And already addressed this in my videos. This show has many Deus Ex Machina. This show has so much plot armor, but people think, oh, a lot of characters have died. Yeah, characters that you don't even fucking remember the name of. You just remember how they died. Yeah, and then the thing is, no main character ever dies. Only if anything, only supporting characters that have nothing to do with the story, Sasha, die. Hanji, you know, Hanji really like literally didn't do anything. All she was there to do was just look smart. She would go through books, right? She would read books, but Armin would just figure out everything on his own because of plot convenience, and he's a plot device. But I digress.
Attachment to the world. I get it. I get it. Number two, this one is even worse in my opinion. Zeke apparently had the power to just call all the, friends of the past that we've, known have to been Titans. Not the other shifters that we didn't know, just the ones we know, even if for some reason we don't know why they would help at all, like Grisha and Kruger. I mean, whatever, dude. Friends of the past. And as everyone is right about to die, like everyone is in danger. They're all 1 second from dying. And out of nowhere, no lead up. There has been no indication that Zeke had the power to call these people in the first place. No indication that Zeke can even break out of paths anytime he wanted and take everybody with him. Like he even tells Armin, I don't know, I think it's impossible now. And out of
But
nowhere, they
this
just
is
go.
this is 10 out of 10 writing. People think that this is good. People think, oh, there isn't any. Because, first of all, Attack on Titan is just useless dialogue, like right now, and fights. Fights, useless dialogue, and fucking flashbacks. That's literally the entire show. There's nothing important going on right now that has anything to do with the main plot, as you can see from Armin talking to Zeke. They're probably gonna have a flashback about it, like they just did, by showing the people they could summon, and it's just gonna be a fight scene, a big fight scene after this. There's no build up. Even if there is build up, that doesn't make it good. Foreshadowing doesn't just automatically make something good. But as you can see, this wasn't foreshadowed. This wasn't. And then, see, this is the thing. People will say, like, okay, if this was foreshadowed and we get to, okay, Zeke goes on about it later in the seasons and, it pops up now, okay, that's cool. But if this, like, let's say this wasn't foreshadowed, like it isn't. If they explain it in the next chapter, like how he could do this, people will be like, oh my god, that's 10 out of 10 writing. No, that means it's a fucking retcon, and that means the author didn't think of this until just now. He didn't think of anything until just now. He was thinking of a way like, oh, how can I convince these people like this wasn't just a complete ass pull, even though Zeke literally just pulled this out of his ass. But this is 10 out of 10 writing. People think if a show is just, edgy, if a show is has gore in it, and if it has a lot of flashbacks and dialogue, even though it's just useless dialogue, and most of the flashbacks are stuff we could have just seen in a natural order and pacing of the show, instead of giving us a slow build-up arc in the first season, they gave us some rushed fighting, titans fighting, and that's it. Action. People think it's good if it's just gore, edginess, useless dialogue, flashbacks. And then they'll say, "Oh, only like shows that, they don't have like a lot of action." But you're watching Attack on Titan. It literally has some of the most action in shonen. especially season one. But it's only more blatant and more obvious because in season one there is no storytelling at all. The only thing that the author kind of did was foreshadowing. Like he foreshadowed that Titans are humans when Aaron turned into a Titan, even though that was a complete ass pull. And then he didn't explain that later until his dad turned him into a fucking Titan. I mean, there's just too much. First of all, there's too much plot convenience. The main character gets all the power ups. What else? It's just like there are so many ass pulls, things coming out of nowhere, so much supernatural stuff going on in a show that's supposed to be, so grim and that built itself around being so grim and humanity is like on the brink of extinction. It's nothing like that. There's nobody dies in this show. Nobody. But let's keep watching this.
This poop off. Everybody is saved. Everybody. Everyone was a 1 second hit from dying. But no, everyone is saved at the last minute. Because that is what Attack on Titan is known for.
This literally happened in every chapter. I'm not even joking. I'll point out four from every season. One from every season. One from every season. Four examples. Season one, Annie gets saved because they have to learn how she crystallized. Of course, even though Levi could have just killed her and attached to the walls in the city, and there wouldn't have been a breakout. But they have to have like some big action scene, of course. You know, there just had to be some big action scene, even though he's the one who sliced Annie out of the thing, and I think he saved Aaron or some shit. But they had to take Levi out of the fight because he could have destroyed her. But they had to say, oh, he has an ankle sprain injury. But he literally solos the Beast Titan like it's his life. That's just example one. Example two, season two. Um, Reiner spills his beans like an idiot. Um, not Historia, but Emir turns into a Titan out of nowhere, just a complete asshole. Wasn't foreshadowed at all. Just shock, just to keep you shocked. What else? Everybody lives the fight. Erwin lives because of plot armor. He could have just died there. But the only reason why he didn't die was just to make him look a badass for that moment when he got his arm chopped off, and to make him look badass when he was charging in season three. That's it. That's Erwin's character. Erwin's character is just look badass, be edgy, and his entire character was just built around the bunker. The big mystery of the show. Even though that mystery was shit. That, like I said, that's been done in a book called The Village. Just look up The Village and look up the big mystery box. But anyways, Erwin's entire character, he didn't have any personality. I didn't care about him when he died. I didn't care about him throughout the story. He barely talked. All he was there was for badass scenes, or quote unquote badass scenes, and to basically make it suspenseful that who are we going to give the syringe and just for the just to tell them about the bunker. Okay, cool. Season 3. You got to remember this show has a lot of plot armor. Stick with me here. Of course Zeke makes it out alive. So we can have another fight scene in season 4 cuz that's all people care about. They just all survive. All the main characters survive. All the cannon fodder, all the fodder die. The characters you don't care about. The only character that people somewhat cared about was Erwin, even though he was trash. He wasn't a main character. He wasn't even he was barely a supporting character. He was just there just to tell them about the bunker. That's it. But anyways, they all make it out alive. Just so we can have another battle in season 4. Okay, cool. I guess. And people who say they like Attack on Titan for the writing. It was most popular since season one. The popularity died down throughout the seasons. Um, B, the manga sales have gone down. And C, people only complain about the CGI. They don't complain about the bad writing. Now let's go on to season four. Levi survives the explosions. What else? I mean, I don't even know. Aaron, just kills the what is her name? The fucking I forgot what the Titan's name was, but he takes her power, of course, because he's the main character. Um, you know, it's confirmed now from leaks that Aaron survives getting his head cut off, and he fights. This is just a spoiler. So they have let's just say they have a fight at the end, and that's it. Just the most generic cliche, Naruto versus Sasuke ending, right? Spoilers. I warned you. I said spoilers. But anyways, what else? What else is plot armor in season four? Because I've read season four, but it's just like there's so many things that are bad, and I'm only pointing out the worst. So Levi survives, Aaron wins and he just takes her power. He doesn't die at the end, and shut the fuck up. And what else? Zeke doesn't die because we got to have another fight. And first of all, we have one chapter left, which is 45 something pages or whatever. And you're telling me that we're already on episode 16. We're supposed to be getting a quote unquote movie, but it's not gonna sum everything up. Um, it's crazy how people treat this like it's the greatest thing ever. Somehow Rainer isn't dead yet. He should have died in season 3. But anyways, let's continue to watch this.
Being saved at the last minute. The Deus Ex Machina. There was no setup for this. One chapter. We're not even done the chapter, right? There was no setup. There no indication Zeke had this. There's honestly in the same chapter it's saying Zeke can't do it.
And like I said, storytelling 101. You foreshadow something, you don't just pull it out of your ass to shock people. If you pull it out of your ass to shock people, that's not good writing. Good writing is like actual good foreshadowing if you're going to pull something up later, and great pacing to build up to, or not build up, to lead up to it. Build up is not good writing. Good build up equals good writing. Build up is not automatically good writing.
You hate to see it, folks. You hate to see it. Oh my god. Don't put your characters in danger if you're just going to like fucking ass pull a save right out the last
Thank you.
second.
He even said it himself in ass pull. Best examples I can give. Um, what are the best examples? I'm trying to bring up another anime because I've already brought up plenty of ass pulls in Attack on Titan. Lelouch. He gets the most broken power ups. He pulls things out of his ass just to win every fight. Even better example, Light Yagami pulls things out of his ass. Gets all the power ups, beats L in ass pull, and it's just a show you can't take seriously. If you want to watch a better, Death Note, just watch Monster. Monster's not or Death Note's not a masterpiece in any way, shape, or form. It's a 3 at best. That show just can't be taken seriously. Just bland characters that have no personality. Light just wants to kill everything for no reason. He gets all the power ups. Of course, he wins against L. A master detective, and it's just like, how can you defend that? People like to say, "Oh, Light's smart. He had all E's in high school." Well, I mean, Goku was born a Saiyan, and the Saiyan race is supposed to be like one of the strongest races. So you're telling me that it's bad when oh, Goku gets all these power ups, even though Goku works hard for them. But it's good when Light just gets all these ass pulls and all these power ups out of nowhere just because just because it's instead of it being fighting scenes, it's just mindless dialogue saying, "Oh, I outsmarted this person. I outplayed him, man. This is chess." I mean, the contradictory between anime fans. Manga fans are not as contradicting. Manga fans are more open minded when it comes to anime and manga. And just anime onlys are just hypocrites. They're contradicting in every way, and they're just hypocrite. They're frauds. It's crazy.
Explain how some of these would even Ymir, like the original Jaw Titan, help them? This is like against Historia's plan too, because she went on to it. Like, oh my god! And from the moment everyone is instantly saved, they go and blow up Eren immediately. What?
That is that is literally one of the biggest ass pulls in shonen. Not even Attack on Titan. This is in shonen history, in anime and manga history, one of the biggest ass pulls. But it's cool because it's edgy. People will say, "Oh, it had build up." He was showing Armin was showing him the leaf, and he thought it was a baseball, and he thought of his friends, and his friends came out of nowhere, and they'll say, because it wasn't some power up to go into a fight scene. It was good, but it was basically a power up because he got this power out of nowhere. Second of all, it just led to another fight scene. Like I said, Attack on Titan is flashbacks, which just happened, fight scenes, and useless dialogue. That's all it is, and edginess. But that's good. That's 10 out of 10. That's amazing writing. That's this deserves my 10 on my anime list. The only, I only give great shows, greatness 10 out of 10s. Hunter X masterpiece. Berserk. Monster's a 10 out of 10. You know, at worst it's a 9. Um, not some nines on my list. You got Parasite. What else? Let me actually look at my list. You know, you got Parasite. What else? Ergo Proxy an 8. My list. What else? You got all these great shows. Uh, and it's just like I have amazing taste. Taketsu, a 7. I love that. I love that series. What else? Dragon Maid a 10. Obviously, it's actually a 12. What else? Ghost in the Shell. I gave it a 9 because I love Ghost in the Shell. Shows that actually deserve all these high ratings, all these high scores. Princess Mononoke a 9. Nana. I gave Nana an 8. What else? Neon Genesis about an 8 or a 9, 8.5, if you will. What else? Natsumi Book of Friends gave it an 8, solid 8. Good shows. I invest myself in good shows, in good, not just shonen. I read seinen, I read shonen, I read rom coms. I venture out. Phantom for Requiem, or Requiem for the Phantom. I gave it an 8. Perfect Blue 7. I just have amazing taste. You know, I have amazing taste. There's no other. Before I get back to the actual video, there aren't many people who have as good as taste as I do. Just it's only the higher level thinkers, the manga readers, just the true innovators, the people who are setting the bars high. They're not lowballing. They're not giving everything a 10 just because. People will go as far as giving stuff like Bleach a 7. They'll say Bleach is trash, but the lowest they can give it is a 7. Same with One Piece. It's like, how are you so dumb? The big three: Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, complete trash shows. Naruto Part One was a 5. It was just a copy of Hunter x Hunter. Naruto Part Two was terrible, about a 1. Bleach is terrible, about a 1. And One Piece is -1. Like, it's so bad. And even some of my childhood favorites. I'm unbiased. I forgot what the show is called. I watched this when I was like 15. It's called A Race. I remember watching this. I think it was a 13, 12 episode show. I gave it a 3. I liked it when I was younger, but it had a boring. It was a boring story. The ass pools in that story. The main character time traveling, and it's not explained ever. A boring, predictable ending, and it was terrible. She ends up with another guy. Colorful is an 8. The movie. Cowboy Bebop, nostalgia for me. I actually love that show, but I gave it a 4. I'm not biased. I'm not gonna be biased. I'm not gonna sit here and just give everything a high rating just because of nostalgia. You know, all Cowboy Bebop was, ass pulls, and I'll explain the ass pulls. It was just fan service, episodic garbage, boring dialogue. There was nothing to the plot. Like, it was just a popcorn anime where you just watch it just because you didn't have to pay attention to it at all. It was just one of those shows where you know um, it has no sense of direction. It was just one of those fun shows that tried to be fun but failed in every way. Spike's backstory was a complete ass pull. They tried to make him this, this this they tried to make him such a tragic character, which he wasn't. I didn't care about Spike. He was just that laid back, try to be cool when I'm serious. Laid back, I'm cool. I smoke a cigarette and get serious and joke around. He's a failure in every way. Dead Man Wonderland, gave it a 4. I loved it as a kid. I still like the show, but it's not that good. It has a bunch of ass pulls, a terrible sense of direction. No, there's just nothing to the story. All it is just a kid wanting to get out of jail, which was a simple, good premise, but it was executed poorly. Had a terrible ending. It was episodic garbage to where it had no real sense of danger, and the only reason why people like it was because of the tits, the fan service, and the edginess and the gore, pretty much. People will say, "Oh, it's a show you have to take serious, man." But come on, man. Like, you can't say it's bad, man. You got to take this show seriously because it's edgy and gory, and it's just like, no, this show it's a seinen, but it's really just a shonen. If anything, it's both, but really it's just a shonen disguised as a seinen. And actually, the genre of the show is actually shonen. But yeah, it tries so hard to be a seinen. Just the goriness is over the top, and it's just a bunch of fan service, episodic garbage. Goes nowhere with the plot. Has no sense of direction. Bad characters. Bad main character that had potential to be a good character. Shiro is just, I only liked her because she's fucking crazy, and I thought that was cool when I was younger. But it's just like, don't stick your dick in crazy. But anyways, that's a different topic. The point is, garbage show. Generic, gave it a 4. Bad. Okay. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I used to like the show when I was younger until I went and rewatched it. Gave it a 4. Again, it's just a fetch quest, episodic garbage. Generic story. It has no sense of direction. Terrible ending. Bad characters that literally change not a single time throughout the story, and it's just like it's just a bunch of plot holes in that story. And people like to overhype it, say it's good because It's edginess and it's gory. But I bet if Dragon Ball had edginess and it had a bunch of useless dialogue, people will say it's a 10 out of 10. But just because it doesn't have a bunch of dialogue and it's not super edgy and over the top, it's bad. Which it is. It's about a 5 or 6 out of 10 at best. I like the show because of nostalgia, but it's just like edginess and all that other bullshit doesn't make a show good, man. Um, um, my dad was a part timer. I loved the show when I was younger. I still love it till this day. I thought it was pretty funny. You got what you came for. You came for the comedy. You got the cheap tits. When you were a kid, you probably winked to that shit or whatever. But anyways, it's like you got what you came for. Cheap comedy. It's actually had some pretty good characters. They actually felt like characters. It was kind of a love triangle between them, but it was actually a good, solid short story, and you got what you came for. You didn't. It wasn't an incompetent writer who tried to do stuff that he couldn't do, and he didn't. He wasn't pretentious, just like Isayama. The writer gave you what you came for. Hellsing gave it a 7. Love the show. It's solid. I didn't give it anything other than a 7 because it's like it's just solid. That's all it is. But going back to the video, let's get back to it.
What? This, oh my god, it is. We have so many chapters of buildup since the time skip, since the start of the rumbling. We have everybody
But
losing.
that's all people care about is build up. Like I said, build up doesn't mean good. Literally, first of all, there's so much build up to the quote unquote end, but you're only gonna have like 10 fucking pages of the actual end, the actual story. It still hasn't gotten to the actual story. It's like a prologue. You didn't watch, it's like 70, it's not, no, no, 90% of the movie was just, wasn't the main story, and then you get to the last 10 minutes of the movie and it's the main story. What? I okay.
As they should, right? As they should. Every other part of the manga, to them even do anything even remotely small, they have to give up so much and so many lives. Like, purposely give it up, not like lose it along the way. They purposely give it up. When they took back Aaron's home, they literally sacrificed the entire scout regiment. When they tried to take back Trost, they kept sacrificing people. When they went on scouting expeditions, they had to sacrifice people. But this, everyone's last minute from dying, and who did they sacrifice? Hanji?
Wow,
Like, yeah, she's an important character, and
a character that before he says this, a character that that everybody cared about for no reason. She didn't have any character development. Like what was deep and complex about her character? There was nothing deep or something that was interesting about the character other than that. Wow, she's smart. Okay, cool. She's smart. She studies Titans. That's actually cool, right? She's a genius. She comes up with these plans, but throw that out of the way. We got Armin. We got fuck Armin, a character that a friend of mine likes to call fuck Armin. A character that's just like, oh, I know everything because the author tells me to know everything. A character that it's like, okay, and Hanji is trying to find all these ways and reading all these books to figure out what's going with these Titans, and then Armin's just like, oh well, they're bad because of this. I know it. Like, are you? Where's the character development? When is Armin gonna get some things right? When he's gonna study? When is he gonna change? He just knows everything. He has not changed throughout the entire story. And when I first watched this, because like I watched it in 2013, I've rewatched it before in 2013, the first season. I didn't read the manga, so I've already done a video on this, but I wasn't shocked when Rainer and Berto went Titan for him because it's like it was obvious, and I've already done a video on it. But anyways, that's all it tries to get you with the shock. But anyways, Armin, right? He has not changed throughout the entire story. He's literally the same from what he was. And don't even get me started on Mikasa. She's just there to be there. People will say, "Oh, she's an important character because she's supposed to be protecting the founder." Dude, all she wants is Aaron's sake. That all she's there is just to be fan service for the mindless idiots who just like her because even though she has no character development, and she's just there. She's just there to look cool, to beat Titans, beat people up. Wow. Levi, all he does is just beat people up. There's nothing deep or complex about him. He has a backstory where they try and make him this tragic character. Oh wow, he's another Sasuke. He's another Phaeton. Because a lot of people like to rip off Hunter x Hunter. Sasuke or Levi is just a Phaeton ripoff. Levi Ackerman looks like Phaeton. They made him edgy, gory. He's. I'm not saying that Phaeton's tragic, but they just tried to give him this generic tragic backstory that's been done and shown in 20 million times over and over again, and it's just like, wow, where's the originality? Instead of giving a character a little bit of backstory, how about you give us some character development? And before people say, "Oh, backstory is character development, man," what are you talking about? Look up the definition for the word backstory. It has nothing to do with character development. Backstory is to give you ground information about the character, where they grew up from, where they came from, how they are as a person, their personality. That's what backstory is. That's what grounding is. Character development is seeing how you take that character that has grown up, who is always happy, changes throughout the story, how they feel. Not episodes of long episodes of, oh, we got to see how the characters feel and not develop them at all. We're just getting a lot of characters that are thinking. We're just seeing how they think in episodes. That was season two's pacing. It was fight scenes, thinking, and flashbacks. That's all season two was. And then what else? It was just they didn't develop the characters. They didn't say, "Oh, we're gonna make these characters change naturally or progressively throughout the story." Aaron, it took him four, quote unquote, 4 seasons to change, even though he's pretty much the same as he was from the beginning. He hasn't changed. He has no character development. The only reason why he's changed even a little bit is because he's getting memories from another person. He isn't changing naturally through character progression. He's just finding stuff out. That's it. He's not. He's just reacting to stuff. Like, if a child reacted to something, they're going to change. They haven't fucking developed as a person. Them A good example is a child growing up from trauma. He says, "Hey, I'm going to be a better person. Watch me get through this." He progressively he fails. He fails. Aaron never fails. He just gets power ups. The child fails over and over again. He wins sometimes, but he fails. He wins little, but he fails big. And it's just a progression of how we're seeing him change and mature as a person. But no, instead, let's just merge our mind. Let me just be a lazy writer, because the author is incapable and incompetent. Let me just be a lazy writer and just say, "Oh, we're just gonna merge our character's mind with another character." Wow, 10 out of 10 writing, bro. I mean,
Really liked
I
her,
couldn't believe it.
but that was even before they even got here. They were fighting Titan shifters, and they all apparently are professional elites now. That oh, I don't know, dude. To me, they set up this whole amount of danger, and
And that's all Attack on Titan does. It just sets up danger, kills off a character that nobody cares about. People are shocked for 5 seconds. I think there's this guy called Billy Hitchcock. He talks about writing, right? Now, before I get into Billy Hitchcock's not theory, but a fact and truth, all Attack on Titan does is just kill off. It's either a supporting character that nobody that isn't really developed, or just a fodder character that nobody cares about. But anyways, and it shocks you. Now Billy Hitchcock says you take a bomb and it's ticking, right? And it's ticking under the table, and a bunch of characters are around the table, but the audience doesn't know that there's a bomb under the table, and then it explodes, and then it shocks everybody for 10 seconds. And then he said you take that same scene, because Attack on Titan likes to shock people, and it likes to keep people on the quote unquote edge, but it's just shock for like 10 seconds. It's nothing. You take that same scene where there's a bomb under the table, but you inform the audience that that bomb is going to go off in 20 seconds. Now people are on the edge of their seat. They're shocked throughout the entire scene. It lasts longer, and it's not just cheap shock instead of good writing. It's not. That's a good form of that. That's not even a good form. That's just a simple form of foreshadowing. You tell the audience, okay, this is going to happen, right? You don't have to tell them everything. A good form of foreshadowing is like, okay, well, um, let's say if they emphasize that Zeke had that power, all along, before it was a complete asshole. Let's say we got that same scene in season one where he used the power and we didn't know what the fuck was going on. It was just Attack on Titan. Like we just got a glimpse of it, like 10 seconds of him just using that power, 10 seconds of him, like, I guess it, it's a, like, we don't know at the time, but it's because Attack on Titan is a time traveling anime. It's a time scene where he went back in time. They could have did that. That would have been simple foreshadowing. And then it would have made more sense that he just didn't pull this out of his ass. That he can call his, let me call my friends, happy ending ever after, to kill Aaron. Wow. 10 out of 10 show.
You know, realistically, they are getting messed up by it, right? They're getting fucked. But they're saved at the last minute from something that was not set up.
At all.
And
Just a complete ass pull.
yeah,
Deus Ex Machina. Plot armor, plot devices, plot galore, plot holes galore, and just etc.
they immediately blow up Aaron's head in one fell swoop. That's pretty much it. Kasa immediately, defeats Okami. The Ymir Titan, and Armin is saved. And then, Armin does his little explosion by Aaron, boom. Again.
But that's 10 out
Too
of 10
fast.
writing to people. Everything just happens too fast. There's no build up, there's no foreshadowing. There's no fucking sense of direction in these fights. Explosions and things are just happening just because. There's no good writing. It has lazy dialogue. They just talk about some edgy or some sad, generically sad stuff like, oh my god, this is tragic, this happened to me. And then explosions. Wow. Shock. Good writing, though. For a show that's supposed to be quote unquote so mature, I mean, it falls under the baby category. This show is for 13-year-olds up to like 17 at most. This show is literally for teenagers. You can't take this show seriously. A show that you can actually take seriously, Monster, Berserk, especially the manga Berserk. It's very, it's something you can take seriously. It has the gore, but it doesn't just throw the gore at you. A lot of seinen that are good doesn't just throw gore at you. It's just it's they use the gore lightly. When you use gore over the top, it just makes the scene funny. Like, you're just gonna laugh at it. Like, wow, the author tried so hard. It's like the author's trying so hard. The illustrator or whatever the fuck. You know. Let's continue.
Fast. It's rushed. I do not like it. The only
And
thing
and
about this chapter.
this is an Attack on Titan fan. This is a guy who's been keeping up with Attack on Titan. I'm not an Attack on Titan fan. I've been keeping up with it though because it's been overhyped and I wanted to see what the hype was about. So I've read chapters 138 or chapters 1 through 138.
Chapter that I really liked was Levi and Zeke. I think I think that was a great moment. I like that Zeke's character got there and he did appreciate the little things, even though it was a little too late for that. I don't like how he got there, and that's my biggest problem. I don't like how he could leave anytime he wanted it. I
But anyways, that's all people care about. Like I said, Levi and Zeke getting their another show off. Even though neither of the characters died, Zeke gets saved because of plot armor. Prevents Levi from killing him, and it's just like, how do you guys take this seriously? How do you guys say this is a good show when the characters just keep getting saved over and over again? Do you not see the loop? It's just the same thing, reuse fight scenes. It's like they keep trying to take you on this egg chase, like what's going to happen next, but nothing is going to happen. These fans are degenerates. No, all it does is pull you in with the mystery box, like what's going to happen next. This show doesn't pull you in with good writing, good characters, good pacing. This show can't carry you with the characters alone. It can't. It just, the only way it carry the thing that carries the show most is, I don't know what's going to happen, what's going to happen next. It's a thriller show. That's it. It's just a thriller. Once, if you've read, like, let's say you've read season 2, right? And then you watched it. You're not going to get that same hype from reading it as you would if you watched it. Because when you watch it, first of all, they take out so much source material. Second of all, you're going to be more shocked because there's music and they add tension. But when you read the manga, like I did, it's just laughable. Some of the scenes are just laughable. I mean, honestly.
don't like how they just got saved at the last second. I'm of the opinion that if you overuse these save at the last second, it starts killing tension in the story, especially when you do it for certain particular characters, right?
What did I say about the Albert Hitchcock or Billy Hitchcock? It kills tension when you cut back between flashbacks and fight scenes. Flashbacks, fight scenes. In order to keep the story going forward so it can make sense, they have to flash back to something instead of us seeing it in the natural order. Instead of it having well paced and good writing or decent writing at that.
Right. So I didn't like it here. I did not like it here. Then that's 137. That's chapter 137. So I liked maybe one part of it, the Levi Zeke, because that was building up. That was building up since before the time skip, right? That was on the agenda. I'm glad. I like the way it turned out.
Even though it wasn't really good build up. They just fought. Levi just wanted to avenge Erwin, a forgettable character. Wow. That's all Levi's character is, fights. That's all he. There's nothing. There's nothing to him. That's all he is.
Levi, cold blooded, no conversations, no anything, straight up kill. It was building up to it, and to me, it was poetic. I liked what where Zeke's headspace was at the time. But man, the rest of it. All right, let's move on into 138. Let's move on into 138. All right, first thing about 138 is about half the chapter, all those panels dedicated to non-plot related things. The reunion with the family.
And I've been saying this to Attack on Titan fans, especially people who have kept up. But people who haven't, I've been saying, dude, if you're watching the anime, everything that is happening has nothing to do with the main story or plot. We're in the final season of Attack on Titan, and they're bringing in new characters like Gabby and developing them. Gabby has more development than most characters, first of all, but They're bringing in new characters, and we're in the final season. Are you serious? Can you focus on the main plot, Isayama? Can you stop pulling shit out of your ass? I mean, if you think this is the greatest thing in fiction in a long time or just ever, or Isayama's a good writer, then just fucking slap the shit out of yourselves. You're an idiot. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You're just a fucking idiot. You've only read baby shit, or you've only watched baby shit. Most people who watch anime don't even read manga, let alone read actual books that have good writing, good quality writing, good story structure that isn't baby shit. Things without freaking pictures and pixels. They don't read that. They can't do it. They either have to watch a movie or watch anime because they want that music, they want that tension, they want to feel hyped, they want to see battles on the big screen and see all the animation. That's all they care about. For people who are saying that this is a great show, all they care about is and complain about is the CGI of season 4. They don't care about the actual story because they know it's trash. It has not. First of all, season 4 has nothing to do with the main story so far, and at all. Episodes 16 through 16 or 1 through 16, none of them had anything to do with the actual main plot. You read the manga and it's just like, well, where are we going, Isayama? Where are we going this time? I mean, if you think this is just the greatest thing ever, now you're just used to all I gotta say is you're used to baby shit. Simple. And it's just that simple.
Family, Annie's reunion, talking about the fight that just happened or the fight that's about to happen. There's just so much stuff that's not moving the plot forward. And look, I get it. I know why that many panels were used for that. You want an emotional connection to all the characters right
But see,
before.
the thing is, it's too late for that. We could have gotten a slow-paced arc building these characters back in season 1. But instead, he wanted to open up with the Armor Titan, the Colossal Titan, breaking walls, action, 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 zombies eating people, action, 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 dialogue, uh, fucking generic, cliche, over the top yelling, action, action, action. That's it. That's season 1. That's Attack on Titan for you. You know, I've already explained it. Season 2, what else? Flashbacks to explain things that should have happened, or no, flashbacks, because instead of the things from season 1 leading up to season 2, we have to explain the ass pulls and the things that are just pulled out of Isayama's ass to explain why things in the story make sense in season 2. So you got a bunch of flashbacks, a bunch of useless fighting scenes, and a bunch of useless dialogue until we get to the big reveal where Rainer spills his beans. And then season 3, part 1. Oh my fucking god, if it couldn't get any worse. They introduce a character. His name's what is his name? Um he's Levi's uncle. I forgot his name. He's literally that forgettable. He wasn't he didn't do anything. All he was there was to do was just look cool. Kenny. That's his name. He battled Levi. Okay, they battled the Scout Regiment. Season 3 part 2 comes along. More fight scenes, more edgy garbage, no sense of direction that actually means anything, from season 3 part 1, and then you got season 3 part 2 where it's just like, like I said, more fight scenes, um not as many flashbacks, actually. Some flashbacks. The big bunker reveal. Kenny was just there to give Levi the syringe just so he could revive Armin. That's literally his entire character. Then he just dies because there was no use for him because he was just a lazy trash tropey character. You know that that's quite it. And then they see the bunker. Okay, um, they see the bunker. Aaron gets the crystallize. He literally gets it as an ass pool. He gets it out of absolutely nowhere. You know he. I swear challenge any Attack on Titan fan to go back and watch the scene. I swear Aaron pulled this out of his ass. So basically, the scene was Historia slapping her dad around and then slapped him on the floor. He transformed, right? And then Aaron comes riding, like running out of his shackles, right? Because he was chained up, running out of his shackles. And then out of nowhere, he gets the little, like the little power up, the little vial. He breaks the glass and then gets turns into a titan and crystallizes out of nowhere. Where did that come from? Just so much plot convenience. Um, it was cringe. It was all. He's just an edgy character over the top. I don't know how you can like that character. He's trash. He does nothing new or unique. He's just shown in garbage, and it's just like if that's your favorite anime, or if that's your favorite protagonist in anime, you have screws loose up top. There's no other way to put it. You know, um, I know someone that their favorite characters in anime history are Aaron Yeager, A, and fucking Aizen from Bleach. Like, if it couldn't get any worse than Aaron, Aizen, a character that has complete ass pulls. He gets all these power ups out of nowhere. He only power ups to lose to another character that gets more power ups, a Ginger, and he's trash. He's just edgy. He's a bland character that has nothing to him. His entire motive is just because he doesn't agree with how the some government is ran with this guy. He doesn't agree with them. That's his entire character. So he just hurts people because, oh, I got hurt in the past. My backstory is tragic. That's literally Aizen's character. But that's so cool because he's edgy. And so, like, I bet if he wasn't edgy, I bet if he wasn't like edgy, people didn't think he looked cool, people would have just been like, oh, he's just some other generic villain in Bleach, which he is. He's nothing. There's nothing special about Aizen. There's absolutely nothing special about Aizen. And if you like him, you're a fraud. Simple. Let's move on.
Or they turn into Titans and now you're supposed to feel sad. But let me tell you, I know they're not staying Titans, dude. Gabby, 0% chance that she doesn't turn back to normal. 0%. I've talked about this in the theories, and you can go check those videos out. But she's 100% either eating Reiner if the curse doesn't get broken, or if it's broken, she's gonna be turned back to normal. 0% chance. You have Reiner and what's it called, Falco, their character revolving around saving Gabby. 100%. Connie and his mom. His mom is still a pure Titan. She's alive. To me, that makes it seem that she'll turn back to normal, and that's what Connie wins at the end of the story. A future with his mom. Great, happy. Gene might end up getting matched with Peak.
And see, the thing is, it's not even that the happy endings are what makes shows bad, because it's just the typical route to go. A happy ending is not what makes the show bad. Bad writing, bad build up, bad characters make a show bad and make a show have a bad ending. You can have a happy ending. It could have been a rough story. The character, he went through a lot. He persevered. He got what he wanted. But a few characters were lost along the way. He's alive, and he learned from it. You can consider that a happy ending, or you can consider it a tragic ending. He survived. The people survived that he saved. Let's say, but some of his family members were lost. That's happy. That's a happy ending. It doesn't have to be super edgy, super gory. All the characters die for it to be good. It really doesn't. And that's the route Isayama was originally going to go. And then he said in an interview, 2017, he changed his ending of Attack on Titan, and his story, throughout the story. That's why season 2 took so long. Even in the manga, that's why season 2 was taking long to finish. because he was changing his story. He's not capable of good writing. He retconned his story. What don't you people get? He retconned his entire story. He's not a good writer. He's not a good author. He's not a good illustrator. And the only reason why his series blew up was because of the anime. If it wasn't for the anime, nobody would be talking about Attack on Titan. Nobody would be reading it. It was on death row. It was literally about to get canceled. Attack on Titan was about to get canceled. Then it got this anime adaptation. Then it became the most popular thing ever because it was like humanity's on the, people were dick writing the whole humanity is on the verge of extinction. It's edgy. There's no plot armor, even though Aaron literally turns into a Titan on episode 3. But anyways,
I don't see them not coming back. And so for me, the emotional setup just didn't do it for me. It in a story with one chapter left after this, and this one, and they're not even finished fighting. Right? It's not like we're going into the last chapter and there's going to be an epilogue. Even at the end of 138, right? What's it called? If Aaron's dead, the centipede's not. We're going into 139 with that still not being resolved. And we just have so many panels. We got half of it towards the reunion with the family, another quarter for Mikasa's dream, and
that's what I mean.
I
People think that this anime is just it's slow build so well. It has no fights, even though it has a fuck ton of fights. It's super fast paced. It rushes everything. Even season people think season 2 is slow. Season 2 is rushed as fuck. It rushes to where we got to get uh Emir into a Titan. It was never foreshadowed. They weren't thought out characters. Emir and Historia. Um, you know, they could have did that in one of the arcs in season 1. At least made them thought out characters. But anyways, Amir, and then she has to get a not a backstory, but a flashback to explain her Titan powers and where she got them from. And then Reiner spills his beans. That happened so fast. It wasn't. There was no build up to it. He just said, "We're Titans. Come with me. I'm gonna need you to come with me." Then it was a long fight. It was a long fight and chase scene. They don't run out of gas. Chasing these people, but I remember in like a prior episode, they just happened to run out of gas to build tension because the Titans are surrounding them. It's just plot convenience, man. The whole gas thing is just a plot device to basically just like in season 3, part 2. The only reason why Zeke didn't die was because people ran out of gas. That's it. They of course they run out of gas just in the most convenient times, but people will think that this show has no plot armor. I mean, literally, Dragon Ball has less plot armor than this. You can bring any character back through time travel. Dragon Ball, you have the Dragon Balls, right? But it's like, I mean, I don't see people being brought back left and right here and there. Goku has died more times than Eren. Um, there are still people in Dragon Ball that are dead, even though Dragon Ball is trash, especially Super. There are still people in hell in Super. There are more people in hell in Super than people who have died in the show. But this show builds itself around being so gory and no plot armor at all. But get the fuck out of here! Come on.
just didn't like it. I gotta remember I came
I
into
can't
this
I
chapter from
can't take you fans
137 not liking
seriously.
137, so I'm like, you know what? Maybe part of me still had hope that things are gonna be good. But no, we kill Eren a second time. What? Where no epic fight, no clash of ideals, just an empty husk that Mikasa kisses. Like to
Which
me,
all people that's
I
all
wasn't
people care
Eren and
about. That's
Mikasa
all
shipper,
people have
right?
been waiting for. When are Aaron and Mikasa gonna get together? I'm waiting for that. This is why people like this chapter, not because it was good writing, good fights. There were no good fights. They were all just boring, mediocre, and just laughable. And it happened so fast. The story was rushed, like in this chapter. Characters were rushed. There were ass pulls, and it's just like, how do you like
over
this?
when she when she joined the alliance, part of me started leaning towards Historia. We got to support our fellow Jaegerists. But let me tell you, like this is not like the moment where he's about to get eaten by Royal Dina with him and Mikasa. was a lot more powerful than this kissing Eren while he can't really say no because he's a fucking head. Oh my god. Anyways,
But then, yeah, that scene was more powerful. But then again, that scene was still bad too because it was just over the top yelling. Aaron can't turn into a Titan at the moment because plot convenience and plot devices. And then, the Titan that he happens to stumble upon has to be the coordinate Titan to give him the coordinates. Just because the Titan that Rainer threw happens to be not only his mother or his stepmother or whatever the fuck, but it's that Titan, the royal Titan, the royal blood to give him the coordinates. It's so much plot convenience. That's not good writing. It just happened out of nowhere. It happened so fast in season two. Season two was rushed.
but I mean, to me, that's a neutral thing. That's not why I disliked it. It's all the panels associated to it without actually pushing anything forward. In fact, we kill Eren a second time, which I don't like. How could I like the killing of a protagonist who was the main point of view throughout the entire story, who became a villain, and suddenly no point of view? What is emotional about killing that? That I don't even see his inner monologue. Even when we're fighting, in Aaron's hometown. Dude, I can never pronounce it. Shinsegae, whatever, dude. I'm just gonna keep saying Aaron's hometown. When they're fighting there, we get Zeke's point of view. We get Reiner's. We get Bertholt's. It's epic. It's fucking the best. It's the best climax of the series, in my opinion. I don't think it was ever topped again. The ending, at the beach, classic, beautiful, one of my favorite scenes in all of manga and anime. It can't be beat.
And if you thought that ending was good, the bunker, the island reveal, you're just a fucking idiot. Read The Village. The Village is a story or a movie or a book about people who humanity about to go extinct. Then they find out they're just trapped on in this prison cell island, and there are more humans out. Literally, I'm not even talking about Attack on Titan. And then there are people outside of this prison. That's the story. So that's basically what Attack on Titan did, and that was a story that nobody could take seriously. But people are overhyping Attack on Titan because these are children watching this show. These are max 20 some years old watching this show who are used to baby shit and just only watch shonen and are only anime only watchers. And it's just like it all happened so fast. Season three was rushed. It happened out of nowhere. They're just trapped on this island. Like, who cares? I honestly didn't care. I was like, literally, when I first watched it, right? Like season three, after saying, okay, literally, I dropped the anime in season one, right? I kind of kept up with the manga. But when I watched the anime seasons two and then I got to season three and found out about the reveal, I was like, I was thinking in my head when I was watching it with this person, right? The person I was watching it with, I literally said in my head, what was the point of this? What was the point of everything that happened? What was the point of the story? What is the point of the story? They're just gonna get out of this island and they're gonna kill everybody and happily ever after. I mean, like, where do you dig yourself out of this hole? It's just a plot hole. Like, what is the point of this? Just because, it was quote unquote. Not every plot twist is good. Plot twist does not make a good story. Okay, they're trapped on this island. So what? Who cares? Okay, what's next? You're gonna give us some bullshit excuse like, oh, they need to get out of this. Oh no, they can't. They have to stay on this island, or the Eldians will die. Like that, he could have literally said that, and people would have been like, oh, this is 10 out of 10 writing. But let's continue.
Does not look like this arc is going to beat it. It's extremely rushed. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I can't. There are people out there who are enjoying this. Maybe even the majority. I don't know.
Yes,
I
the
can only
majority.
speak from my own personal enjoyment. What I think is good
It is
writing.
sick. It's sad.
And 137, in my opinion, is definitely the worst chapter of the two. 138 Just nothing happens. It's
And
called.
that's what
I'm
I've been
sure you can
saying.
tell me
People
that
people
Aaron
think
dies again.
people think because I say nothing and this isn't an Attack on Titan fan. He doesn't care about fight scenes. So when he says nothing happens and he likes the show, oh, he's not wrong. But if I say nothing happens throughout the story that has anything to do with the actual main plot, I just care about fight scenes. I just care about fighting shows. You know, apparently, quoting other people. Even though I'm literally right, nothing happens. It's just fight scenes in random fighting, in no sense of direction, just gore and fights and blood happening everywhere, and it's like, what's going on? And then they shock you, and then they're like, oh, well, this happened, this power up happened because the Eldians. They'll literally tell you that, and people will be like, "Oh my god, that's so cool, bro!" And these are the same people who say they watch the show because of its plot, when they're just amazed by all these shocking scenes that happen in these brutal fight scenes. That's all they care about. There's nothing deep or complex about Attack on Titan. Where is the story going? Tell me, where is the story going? Like, give me your honest opinion in the comments section. If you made it to this point in the video, give me your honest opinion as to where you think that this story is going, because it has no sense of direction. It jumps everywhere. It was a story about this, now it's that in season 2, then it's this in season 3. We're just trapped on this island, then it's this. We need to, like, oh my god.
Again, but he died the previous chapter. The fight between him and Armin are just two colossal titans. Well, what fight was that? There were no panels for that. We had more panels of like random Eldians talking to each other than a fight between Armin and Eren in the second to last chapter. Oh my god, what? So I set out for this to be a very concise reasons why I don't like 137, 138. And I personally think they're not great chapters. Bad even, by my standards at least. Like, actually, I'll say this.
People have low standards, that's it.
The chapters 137, 138 could be good in another manga, but they cannot be good in Attack on Titan. Even, and I'll tell you right now, people are saying believe, trust Isayama. But let me tell you, no matter what big twist is coming in 139, if Eren's still alive.
Who cares? That's all they care about is a plot twist, getting shocked. That doesn't mean good storytelling, good structure.
Or any of the other theories I've talked about on this channel. The point is, 137 and 138 are written. Even if 139 comes out and it's a banger of a chapter, big twists, great finale, wraps everything up beautifully, 137, 138, I still didn't like. And you gotta remember, I'm reading this manga the day, the chapter releases. That's 2 months of me thinking, wow, what am I reading? One chapter isn't going to change the fact that the Deus Ex Machina Zeke pulled out his ass and summoned all these titans into the world after basically being told enjoy the little things.
But people will say, oh, it wasn't an ass pull because he explained it later on in the story. So let's just take that same example, right? So let's just say Isayama explained how Zeke got his power up later on in the story and how he was able to do that. So that's good. That's cool. That's good writing. But let's say Goku went Super Saiyan 3, right, out of nowhere in the Buu Saga. And then later on they explain it in Dragon Ball Super. Does that mean it's good writing? Because people will say that's bad because it's Dragon Ball. They'll just automatically say that's bad. I digress. The point is, people would just be they're just gonna be hypocrites and biased. They'll literally like, let's say a thing that isn't explained in Attack on Titan, like the gas turning people into Titans. It wasn't explained until season 4. First of all, it's a little too late for that because it's the last season that's summing everything up. And second, it's like, why couldn't we just get a little bit of foreshadowing leading up to it, how the smoke does it, and them not telling us that the smoke actually does it, but we're seeing, like, as it's going and changing, like, okay, these tides are coming out of nowhere, right? And then season 4 they explained it. That would have been better. Even though that shit, he just pulled it out of his ass, man. I'm telling you.
Nothing in 139 is going to, unless you're going to say
But it's bad if Dragon Ball does something like this. It's bad if they say, oh well, we got this power up. Just because it's Dragon Ball, it just gets that type of reputation.
Zeke, this was part of the plan all along. Zeke pretended to be convinced by Armin, and then
Yep. People will say, "Oh, it was his plan all along, bro. Yo, trust Isayama, man." Shut the fuck up, dude. I can write a book and say, "Oh, well, it was his character's plan all along." But I can pull some out of my ass. I can pull an ass pull like that and say, "Oh, it was his plan all along." Does that mean it's good? No.
then that leads its own problems. There are going to be a lot of people who aren't going to be happy with that.
That just means that the writer is trying to get himself out of a corner and out of a corner that he dug, a plot hole that he dug because he doesn't know what he's doing with this story.
Because you can't please everybody, right? So, this started off as supposedly my concise list, but man, I'm still mad. I'm still mad.
But anyways, this is the end of the video for his part.
As we approach the end,
Now, this is this. Okay, like I said, this is an Attack on Titan fan. Also, the leaks are out. The leaks for 139. One of the sources from this guy, he was right for about 2 years apparently. I watched the video, and he said that it was supposed to be ending in some type of way. Now, if you want to get spoiled, you can watch the video or you can go on Twitter. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm just gonna tell you this. I just made a video about it like a few minutes ago, saying that Attack on Titan will have one of the worst, and I mean worst, endings in manga, in anime history, in media, in fiction, and just anything in history. Mark my words. I want literally.
hey, well,
I'm gonna watch this video. I'm gonna upload this video while I'm watching this video, and we'll see. We'll see if I'm right or not. We'll see at the end. When it ends, we'll see if this show will be remembered. Like great shows, Avatar: The Last Airbender, um, Monster. It sticks with you. It showed you something. You know, it's not doing some. It's not some incompetent writer doing something that he shouldn't be doing or that he's not capable of doing. But anyways, I'm gonna upload this video and I'm gonna read some more of these leaks on Twitter and watch this video and let's just see how the story pans out. Since you Attack on Titan uh, or Titan tards like to overhype this show, let's see.